The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's Thursday. How's everyone doing? Andrew, Noah, I'm back in St. Louis. I'm in my apartment, our old apartment. I broke into the old apartment. Do you know that song?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God, so good. Bare Naked Ladies.
I almost said Three Doors Down for some reason.
Oh, same thing.
And
no, that's the how you get here.
Oh, you know what I was thinking about? I didn't say it on the like 2 podcasts ago when we were.
Oh, I thought you were like, I didn't say it on the Tupac podcast
Yeah.
that we did.
Oh, you haven't heard about?
You guys
heard
missed that
too.
one.
You haven't heard about that? Well, we did Kanye. We're not.
It's true.
Should we just break down every '90s rap record?
That would be a disservice to culture.
I was thinking about rap today.
Who is a rapper?
Yeah, I was thinking about a rapper,
Culture with a K.
and I was thinking though that like it's so funny because rappers talk about how hard the struggle is when they come up. They always
Yeah.
brag about that. And your friend came up with humble brag, and I was thinking about that today, where they go
Harris Whittles, yeah.
when they always go, I have no like new friends, or like you only want me because I'm so popular now. Really, you're
Yeah.
just bragging about. It has nothing to do with these 5 guys that want cat. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Yes.
But it's definitely a humble brag.
Drinking every night because we drink to my accomplishments.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're straight up bragging, which I like.
I
Humble
do like
bragging.
bragging.
Is different because you're being passive.
Yeah.
Like a passive flaunt.
Braggadocious?
I don't feel like that's the word, but fucking
It's hard to
tubular,
add
dude.
docious to anything without. Why don't we start adding docious again?
Docious is such a crunchy word.
Hedgehog docious?
Hedgehog docious, lava lamp docious.
Llama docious.
If you guys,
Lava lamp.
if we've been getting complaints that the lava lamp looks sick and that it's not doing okay, and honestly today I was like, when Noah was like, can you turn it on a little early because people are worried about it, I really felt like this guilt that I'm not taking care of my lava lamp. Like I'm not like almost the way I have
sorry
a
to
plant
make it
guilt.
so
Like
dramatic.
there's one leaf left on my fig tree that I got, a year ago when I moved in, and I feel so bad about it. It reminds me of when I used to have hermit crabs and I just was too scared to feed them and they just all were like dying. And I
Yeah.
was just such like, I carry that guilt with me the rest of my, it's the worst thing I've ever done is as a
trees
child
go
not feed
through a
those hermit crabs
cycle.
because they were spiders. What?
Fig trees go through a cycle and they lose their leaves in December. So it's okay. It's just going to regrow.
Okay, this
Oh.
one's a little late.
And the other thing, music-wise, you saying "Come, my lady, come." Remember, it's kind of a joke a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And I was getting my hair cut at like a cool barbershop, whatever, Union Barbershop. Shout out.
Whoa.
Got it for free because I threw it in there. No, I actually paid way too much. But
Really?
they
guys
started
have to
playing
get
Fred
haircuts.
Durst. They started playing Fred Durst album, Chocolate Starfish or whatever that was.
Was it ironic?
No, it was semi-ironic, but then like
A little bit of a throwback. At
we're
this
all
point.
making fun of it, but then we all know the words. So it's like I think we do that a lot with songs that. Well, why do we know all the words? At one point, we loved it.
Because they're earworms and they are catchy.
Yeah, but are they good?
Yeah, I think that some bad stuff can be good. Wait, is this like the humble brag thing? Of like shitting on it but actually liking it kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's
Like
like
saying the opposite of what you actually mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it took like 4 songs of me going, I know every word to this album. There was one part of me when I was in high school going through shit where I was singing, wouldn't it be nice if I could touch your butt, like George Michael, but like hardcore.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So you actually, but you liked it at one point.
Yeah, I guess I
So
did.
it was never ironic for you until adulthood.
Well, when I was getting my hair cut, I was pretending like it was ironic because
Yes,
I
but
didn't.
you knew everything.
What
Yeah.
album is that like that for you? I guess
mean-
all Dave Matthews, but I don't. I wouldn't.
Maybe like Billy Joel, like in the middle of the night. But
In
I
the
was
middle
like
of the night.
4th grade loving that song. Or I mean, I don't know. I tend to stand by the things that I like loved early on because my brain wasn't developed yet. So of course I loved like that Fred Durst album was like Baby Shark. Like we're not gonna like make fun of kids for like you loved Baby Shark. You're like not good at music because you thought that song was good. It's like you were a child then.
But
you
then
know?
it comes on later, and you're like, Baby Shark, fuck that. And then after 9 Baby Sharks, you're like,
Oh, let's get back to that like just being
okay.
just kid and like insincere and like trying to be kid. Like
Yeah.
I have to constantly fight that urge to try to look cooler than I am. Like in so many ways. I mean, like cleaning
yeah.
up the house, even like when people come over, I'm like, is that insincere? And it's like, no, that's just like wanting people to feel comfortable and not feel like icky in my place. And that's not about me being like, I hope they think I'm clean. It's just like I want them to be comfortable. And I think that's more the motivation of that. But then even that I question of like, you know, that's on the upcoming reality show. Welcome home, Nikki Glaser, ? On E ! Starting May 1st.
Is that your password?
That is so funny.
Yeah.
There's always I
And
may
now
have
I'm
said it
watching
before,
Hulu.
but I've been dying to write a joke about making new passwords, and they're like, it's not enough. Like you've used that one before or whatever, and you're like, God damn it, and you're like, I'm sorry, I just don't want to get excited about my dead dog anymore because it's always like Simon,
Yeah.
Speedo, like
Where was your first dog born? Or who was the name of your first dog, which is
Yeah.
obviously dead?
Oh, yeah, those questions.
Yeah.
Well, I had the joke about the maiden,
Yeah.
what's your mom's maiden name? The other questions are, who's your favorite teacher? Like, that one is always going to be the same answer for me. There's sometimes you get to pick your
How
question.
long is your dad's cock?
Always going to be the same answer
Soft
for
or
me.
hard?
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. It's tough.
I just have
It
to
would
ask my
be
favorite
funny.
teacher. It reminds me that she knew. That's why she was my favorite. Got good grades. Dad did his work.
Hey, you liked her then, you like her now. Wait, what were we talking about before that?
Goodness.
Goodness. This is the thing. Being
What is the
like looking away in front of a fucking Bugatti,
Oh, yeah. Like
it gets
the
rewarded.
Instagram pose.
It gets rewarded. So when does and
That's why we need "k" as a word to, you know, like humble brag. We need it to spread so that people get shamed for being "k." And what it's not about. It is about shaming, but it's about just be yourself. Like it's okay to be not cool, and it's okay to say that I'm trying to look cool. Like there are times where I put a picture on Instagram where, you know, I've talked about this before, where I look so not myself. I'm really done up. There's you know, maybe someone sent it to me and it's already been filterized or whatever. It's been edited and I have spray tan on and fake eyelashes and the lighting is amazing. And it's just like, it's hard for me to post those with like a genuine thing sometimes instead of going like, this isn't really what it, you know, like just don't be care about it. Just be like, this is me
trying.
Yeah.
It's okay
That's
to
a Taylor
try.
Swift
Oh,
lyric.
yeah, this is me. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm thinking of a different song, but yeah, a lot of people that do that shit, that kiss stuff,
Yeah.
they know it. It's not like a lot of these people
I like
are
the guys
unaware.
that own it. Garrett from F-Boy
Yeah.
Island. I'm
My
wearing a
buddy
sweatshirt.
Gianni does. He owns it from
Yeah,
the
he
show
knows
Power.
he's like, yeah, he wears those. You were talking about like the shirts he
He
wears.
wears like a $90,000 outfit, and it looks like this.
And you can only
but
wear it once.
It has like one thing on the shoulder, and you can't even see it.
But you can't wear that again. That's why I don't like trendy, really like fashion you get tons of compliments on. I don't like to, or that really catch the eye, or like very just so cool. I don't like to get them. I don't like to spend a lot of money on those because you can really only wear them once or post a picture of them once. And it's not like you can't wear them again, but it's just there's those guys. I know Gianni probably never repeats an outfit.
I mean, he wouldn't do it on the gram. You know,
Exactly. That's
he
what
also
I'm saying.
gets given a lot of free shit.
Yes.
So who knows what is even his at that point either. Like I know he has one Porsche,
Man.
but then he's standing in front of a Ferrari. I'm like, did you buy another fucking Ferrari?
I'm getting into stoicism,
Stoic,
like stoic, you know, philosophers. I'm really early on reading about it. I'm reading this book called.
Have you ever
How to
been
Be-
late on?
What?
Have you ever, like, I love everything you come across. You're like, I'm early on in this. Like, you've never been like, I'm 9 books in and I'm really understanding it now.
No, I will never talk about something because I've never gotten 9 books.
I
in.
know. I haven't either.
No, I'm learning. I'm reading How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, and it was a book that was
Did you buy
recommended
sandals?
to me. Well, after that picture I posted the other day on Instagram, after that audition I had, I was like, I'm really feeling this. I was reading in the subreddit books where people talk about books and recommend books. There was one question one day that was like, what's a book that's changed your life and like really changed who you are? And I just got so many book ideas from that. And I've always kind of wanted to get into stoicism because it kind of is in line with pretty much, a lot of recovery program stuff. And it's a lot about, it's just good principles. It's very simple. It's you would
Will
love
you
it. I was
explain
thinking
it?
of you so much.
Like I'm a
I
third
barely
grader.
can. Well,
Oh.
I can explain it like I'm 5.
Okay, and I'll pretend
And
I'm
I'll
6.
pretend like you're 6. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Pretend you're talking to an elder.
There's a subreddit that's like explain like I'm 5, and the
Yeah.
person's asking like, will you explain it like I'm 5? And I'm like, no, but I'll explain it like I'm 5.
Okay, so
Yeah,
there's
stoicism.
these guys that Marcus Aurelius
Okay.
was the emperor of Rome.
That's the
And-
same voice you used to imitate me, by the way.
Oh, okay, so yes, so
Marcus Aviar.
Or
so
I know. It was a joke.
Marcus
Was it?
Aurelius had one chicken and a brown chicken and
Okay,
so-
no, but for real, what is
For
this
real,
stoicism?
it's from what I can glean from it. It is about a way of life, and there's
Oh,
all,
boy.
like I'm so early into this goddamn
I know,
book.
I'm
and
not
it's-
judging.
And
I'm
I
not
want to say
judging.
that if you
I'm
read
not
this book,
judging.
it is really dense up top. But I think it it was recommended to me by a bunch of like people on like not to me, but like on this thread. It said that this is the book to read to like the layman's way of understanding stoicism. And then there's also a guy that does the Daily Stoic and has written tons of books. I think
Sam
his name is
Harris has
Matt
a lot
Holliday
of
or-
conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam Harris this is all very like Sam Harris as well. And like
Okay.
from
So
what
one
I understand, what I
sentence.
like about it, no,
Yeah.
it's not pretentious. There's like philosophy back in when Stoicism was like coming to be. There were cynics. There were also like there was all these different thought like schools of philosophy and like ways of life, and a lot of them, rhetoric was like the biggest thing to learn back in Marcus Aurelius when he was a young boy, and being kind of like groomed to become the emperor. What the trendiest thing to do was like rhetoric and to do debates and to be the most intellectual, and it's very like anti-intellectual, honestly. It's just they think I was thinking of you yesterday when I was reading it because they don't like flowery language, break everything down to its simplest form. You don't need to know 5 different words for the meaning of the word. Like you don't. And then the guy that wrote this book, How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, is a psychiatrist who loves CBT, which is not the CBD, not the oil that guys on Instagram are selling, but it's cognitive behavioral therapy, which Noah was talking about to me one day, which is like you have these thoughts. It's basically like realizing that your thoughts are what drive your emotions, and your emotions are not what drive your thoughts, and that to be the best human being that you can be, it's about your character, and it's not about wealth. It's not about your character is everything, and any pursuit of anything else. And a little bit of stoicism I don't like, which I'm reading about, and I hope they kind of like find a way to make it work. It's really about not ever indulging in anything too much. Everything is moderation. Like very simplistic ways of dressing, no flowery language, like just avoiding the pleasures of life, not indulging too much ever, which is like the way I do my life. But it is true, like moderation, you can have everything you want in life if you just do it moderately. It's just, it harms you when you go too much. But I really like that they're saying everything that you want to communicate can be done very simplistically, and that intellectuals often alienate, and it's everything about stoicism, from what I can tell, is about not being and just being like, and accepting. Like yesterday, I'm on this flight that is shaking crazy because we had crazy wind in St. Louis, and I'm landing and the flight's going crazy, and I'm reading this part in the book about, let me just read this part that I'm reading.
Roman empires flying on Delta, was it? No, but listening to you, I love this because I do think when people talk with big words and stuff, they're trying to. No one's going to question them because no one wants to feel dumb. It's like when a finance guy talks in a bunch of random numbers, and you're like, oh, I must give him my money. He seems to know everything. But you don't want to question him either because you don't want to seem stupid.
Yes.
But back to your emperor thing, though, of like just focusing on character and not all that other shit. But if you have all that other shit given to you, then you can easily focus on character. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes the struggle, it's hard to just focus on your character when your environment doesn't allow you to. Because, does that make sense? Like
all the other stuff distracts.
Yeah, like needing money, needing food, needing all that. Like, you got to
Right.
do whatever you can.
Yes.
So if you're a king, you got that in abundance. So it's like, oh, I don't even need to focus on
Their
this.
thing is that you can have at any level, whether you're a beggar on
Yeah.
the street all the way up, you can still practice good character,
Mm-hmm.
which will lead to all those, I guess maybe lead to all of those things. But I was reading this thing and it was about how they were talking about this guy that was on a ship, and it was everyone on the ship thought they were going to die, and this guy that was a stoic on the ship was terrified at first. Like they said, he like all the color drained out of his face, and that they afterwards, and he was just calm. And the ship captain afterwards said, like, what was going through your, like, everyone else was freaking out what was going on. And he realized, and I'm on this plane that is like going nuts, okay? And I'm usually very calm in those situations anyway, because I'm like, me going like this is not going to change what is going to happen right now. And that is what stoicism is about, is like, your anxiety is not, your worry is not going to change the events. Your heart rate going up, all these things. We as animals cannot help when something scares us. So they were giving an example. When a deer is like grazing in the meadow and they hear a loud noise, they quickly alert, like everything in them makes them alert, and they like kind of sprint off. And then as soon as that danger is gone, they just go back to grazing just as they were before. Whereas humans, because we think we have cognitive abilities to have this brewing in our head, when we're the deer and we get spooked, we have that initial thing, which is like a normal bodily response that we can't help. But then we go, it could still be there. After it's gone, we still have it reverberating through us. And that's why this guy in the ship, at first he was terrified. And then he was very calm because he's like, me keeping this terror going and telling myself the story that I'm going to die, everything's going to, like, that is not helping the situation. And very well, I couldn't die. There's a very good chance that I'm not going to die. So yesterday I'm on this plane and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm about to die. And I was like, this is all coming together to prepare me to accept my death.
Yeah.
It was really wild, but
That is wild.
I was able to stay very calm, and I'm really excited to get more into it. And I know I'm butchering the principles of this as I speak, and some people are probably like screaming at their
Look, if they're
phones right
stoic,
now.
they could handle it.
That's exactly true.
Yeah. Whatever the
listening to this-
storm that you just heard,
Yeah.
the shaking turbulence.
Turbulence. Let's take a break and get back with the news, right?
So wait,
Should
did you land fine? Like,
Yeah, everything was fine. But then we landed and waited 40 minutes on the tarmac, which is just so upsetting. Unless you are sitting next to a woman who has a baby and the baby throws up all over the woman, then you go, you know what? I'm all right. That's what happened to me. This baby drenched her in vomit, and it was probably like a less than a year old baby. And it drenched her in vomit like she was on
like a game show, like Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Slime?
Like I picture Alanis Morissette in the Canadian version of that game show or
Or
whatever
like
it is.
Carrie, but with puke.
It
from
was
the movie.
white puke, and it was everywhere.
Ugh.
And I was so mad about this delay until I looked over and saw her trying to like scramble to find napkins, and I'm trying to help. I don't have anything, and I was just like, I'm all right. I got like, I could. This is a worse situation. It was nice to just be reminded that I don't need to have kids anytime soon.
Yeah.
All right, let's come back with the news. And we're back. We're going to get to the news in a second. I have a shoot with PETA later on today.
Oh, really?
Forgot about. I got back in town. I flew 5 out of 7 of the last days. And I have 2 days in town until I leave again. I'm doing the Grammys. Everyone should watch the Grammys on Sunday on E. I'm going to be in the countdown to the red carpet for the Grammys. So I'm not even at the red carpet. I'm in the 2-hour countdown to the red carpet to the Grammys. I'm going to be in the last half of it. I'm going to be, making jokes about what people are wearing and just like trying to
You know,
Just talking about Taylor
sometimes
Swift,
Not
pretty
to
much.
just like. Sometimes people just watch for that. Joan Rivers was
Totally.
Huge. Yeah. So you know.
I'm happy to do it. I don't get
Yeah.
to go to the Grammys. I have to leave immediately after.
Time out. You're going.
I'm going to the
LA
Grammys
tomorrow.
No, I'm going to Las Vegas. That's where the
Oh,
am I saying it right? Vegas, because I used to say Vegas.
I think you said Lost.
Well, I'm
No,
feeling
but
it.
so you're going there and then you're coming right back.
No, I'm going to LA after that. I'm there for a week of press, and then I go to Winnipeg on Friday.
Meet you
and
there.
then
I'll be
Vancouver-
well rested.
Vancouver? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Vancouver. Vancouver, which is French for van cover. It's French for an old tarp you put on your van. And I'm going to be there on Saturday. And then after that, I come back here, I think. But I might be going to New York City after that. New York City?
The Big Apple.
Yeah, but today in St. Louis, I thought I had 2 days off. But I have a shoot for PETA with Luigi
Oh.
and possibly Marion.
What are you gonna wear?
I read the
Just,
script and it's a little bit like, PETA needs some help to be a little less
Yeah.
Every vegan kind of animal rights group needs to, I want to help. I always lend my voice because I feel like what they're doing it's working because it got through to me, but on some level we need to get through it without being such like just talking down and like lecturing people about like you need to eat healthier. Like I know as someone that's struggled with eating stuff, like it doesn't work like that. People don't care. People still smoke cigarettes even after we see lungs that look disgusting and you know you can die of cancer. Like people don't care. It's been proven that does not dissuade anyone. My dad didn't quit smoking until he lost his mother to lung cancer. Like it takes like something more than that. I love Norm Macdonald's joke of like, you ever seen one of those lungs that's from a smoker's body? Disgusting. You ever see one of those lungs from a healthy body? Disgusting. It's just like,
Yeah.
because it's all disgusting. It's almost like circumcised penises and penises. The other night we were talking about those, and it was like, yeah. I mean, I've never encountered face to face a uncircumcised penis, but I'd get used to it. You know, like it's a circumcised penis is not like something that I'm like, oh, hey, John. Like it's that. Even that is like, yikes.
And a hard uncircumcised is a penis.
Yes.
So how many soft penises are you really staring at?
I was thinking of like coming up with a device that gives men a little cap to put on their penis if they're circumcised to like, because you guys have less sensitivity.
Like a little turtleneck for the penis?
Well, you guys have more. You guys, since it's been rattling around and it's exposed, it's like if we had our clits out all the time, we have a hood over them, which is like what you have. And so I was thinking of like, on candles when they have those little caps that like snuff them out. I want a little thing for a penis to protect it so that you have more sensitivity when you do decide to like play with it. Because all day it's rattling around and you lose sensitivity. When I wear high-waisted pants and I have like something gnawing back and forth, like flossing my clit all day, I have less sensitivity later on.
That makes sense. Maybe you could just, I don't know. Part of me thinks you can pull the skin over your penis even if you are circumcised. Get just a little rubber band, but like a gentle rubber band.
Yeah.
Some of these rubber bands these days, when you put over your cock, it just hurt too much.
Yeah.
Well,
I like that you see an opening for the market, like where there's this need.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharks.
Hey, Sharks. Hi, I'm Andrew. That's Nikki.
I'm not a part of this pitch. Sorry.
Oh. We should have talked about this before you showed up.
This was when I showed up. I did think about it would be, this is funny, this is very dark, but like, how women are always like, have you ever seen an uncircumcised penis? Like I have, we're always like talking about like, oh my gosh, what is it? And I was thinking about, they're like men in like Rwanda talking about like, did you see that girl? She's like uncircumcised. Like her vagina, like, it was disgusting.
Oh, like in Saudi Arabia or something, where they cut the clits off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they cut clits off, but they don't cut clits off. They like, I guess they do clitorectomies.
Yeah, they take the whole thing off.
But
They
it's
leave
like
the hood,
female
though.
circumcision. They leave the hood.
Could you imagine? That'd be even sadder. It's like, oh, God, I used to have a head in here.
Oh, my God. To have your vagina clipped off when you're a young girl is just so fucking terrible. And then to have no anesthetic or anything like that, a lot of the times it's the worst thing ever. With that said, let's get to the news.
Look, at least a guy has an excuse.
Oh yeah, because they're a baby.
No, to like not find like we're always you can't find her clit, you can't find it, but they don't have one, so it's like so now everything is.
Yeah, well, I can't find it because he threw it away somewhere and burned it in a fire as like a sacrifice.
I'm sure you could buy another one on Amazon.
All right, it's the
You
news.
heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh boy, it's Thursday, folks. You know what that means? It is Thursday. The weekend's coming, and maybe I will as well. Probably not. All the swells.
You'll be
Back
opening
to you,
for
Noah.
David Spade.
Oh yeah, I thought
in
you were
St.
going to be
Louis,
there. That's why I'm
the factory.
confused. Yeah, it's like
On Saturday. No, I'm not going to be there.
clean. 10 minutes clean.
Yeah,
I can do it.
easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
I think like changing to like words. I have to do.
Yeah, it's like
When you write that though to me, I did get nervous. I go, do I have?
I know I did the same thing, and then I remember I've done the Tonight Show 5 times, and it's like I can't say pussy on the Tonight Show unless I'm saying, "Oh, I was such a pussy." Do you ever
so
know?
weird.
That's one of my favorite Patton Oswalt things. Is like you can go on TV and say, if you're saying you're pussy, if I'm saying my vagina is afraid, I can say my pussy is such a pussy, and it'll go, my bleep is such a pussy. And if your dick, if your penis is being an asshole, you can be like, Andrew, your dick is a dick, and it would go, your bleep is a dick. And it wouldn't bleep the second one. So stupid. Okay, what's the first news story, Noah?
According to new relationship research, those we memories serve essential bonding functions between romantic partners. So it's worth sharing old memories with your partner.
I love that. We memories.
Like we, like us,
When
like
we
we
did
did it
this
together.
thing.
Yep.
You gotta be dating a little while to kind of go into the old bucket. I don't know.
I don't know. Some couples like come up with an inside joke right away to start nurturing. I think that because it's so, yeah, yeah. I like that. Except that I don't know. There is something about. I'm trying to think of like we. I actually have a joke right now. I'm writing about the word we. It's so weird that you picked that story because it's about when I was single and like would be flirting with a guy and I would not want to know if he had a girlfriend or not because it's just like,
Oh yeah.
what? Like,
I remember. I was there that day, that lunch.
Yes,
The
where you just are like, it
we were
wasn't a
there.
lunch.
We were there together.
Oh my God, Andrew, this is like helping our relationship to remember. But just like, I don't want to ruin the joke because it's like my newest bit and I'm really excited about it. But it's just about, it doesn't matter. Besties will understand if they hear it here first.
I mean, I think it's funny to like you make sure he never gets to that part of the conversation.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I was avoiding it because you, as a girl or a guy, when you are flirting with someone, you're having a really good time and it's back and forth. For me, it's like orgasming. Like I never want it to. I love the flirtation. I love the idea of like what could this be? And when you find out someone has a significant other, it ends all of that fun. And there was this point with this person where it was like, I really like was like the crush is there. This is it's gonna hurt when I find out. And I actually have old notebooks from you and I. This person was at, like within earshot, I think, of us, and you, me, and someone else were writing in a notebook, and I wrote, I kind of don't want to know. And I see it all the time in this notebook that says like, I'd rather honestly not know because it's so much fun that like, it's probably, I would rather just like live in this fantasy because honestly, having a crush for me is so exciting. Not just being around them and flirting with them, but like when I go to sleep at night, I'm like fantasizing about what it could be. The only way I can fantasize is if the thing is like on the horizon. I can't fantasize about things that like I'm not, being interviewed by David Letterman in the shower unless I'm like, oh, Letterman's kind of interested in having you on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I just
Like you feel like Letterman is available to you.
yeah.
The idea of me thinking Letterman's going to come to my house in Arizona that I don't own
Yes.
to a ranch. He has to probably fly in and then ride a cow.
Why are you in Arizona for this?
Hey, I got off the grid. That's how famous I got.
You were fantasizing about getting off the grid, and you're in
Before I
Florida.
even got
Yeah. So, but like I remember
I get what you're
this.
saying, but
wait, let's remember this story because it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, I know
And maybe
it
you'll
well.
help me with the bit a little bit because I was like,
on the beach?
yeah, dude.
Yes.
So it was at a point where I kept saying to Andrew, like, my crush level was, I was giving it a 4-point scale, and I was like, my crush level is like a 1 right now, where it's like this has potential.
Out of 5 or 10, let's just.
Oh no, it was 5 actually. It was out of 5. I remember giving it that,
Okay.
and I remember a couple days prior it was like it's now at a 2, which is like this is not. If it ends up being like something that's not going to happen, I can live with it. And then I remember that morning when it was like I had been around this person enough, and they had not talked. They had like purposefully avoided mentioning anything about their home life. And I know this person didn't have a ring on that finger, at least. So I was like, maybe they have a girlfriend, but I don't know, and I just don't want to know. I just don't want to know, you know? And then
He did have 9 promise rings on him.
So then I remember that day, that morning, I was like, you guys, it's at a 4. Like, there's no turning back. Like, it's going to be today is going to make it a 5 because we were spending a lot of time together that day. And I was like, fuck. Like, and I'm just like, I just have a feeling there's someone because there's just there's a blind spot in all of the stories that we tell each other and like the things we talk about.
But very vulnerable. I'll give him that.
What do you mean?
That's why you fell for this guy, because he was very honest and open about everything else.
Yes. And just like
And owning it seemed to own who he was.
very confident, very just what did it. And also a thing that I get attracted to early on with someone is that they are amused by me, but it's not like overly, and they're just kind of like, all right. Like they don't try to act too cool. Like they don't think I'm funny, but they aren't falling over like cracking
Looking
up.
back, he held in a lot there to look cooler than he felt inside.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was
By a million.
constantly trying to get him to like laugh and like to fuck with him, and it was just and like roasting him and shitting on him, and that's another thing I do. I think as a test to be like, is this guy confident? Like, can I fuck with him and see if he just like lets it slide and like can laugh at himself? Because that's an attractive quality that someone doesn't get offended about. Like little, like I wasn't being cruel. Maybe I was, but sorry, we got to get to the news. So anyway, I remember that day because I was avoiding this so much. I was almost avoiding talking to the person because I was so scared that someone else was going to bring up something that would make him reveal this thing that I just had a feeling about. And then we were sitting.
I smoked a little doobie.
Oh, did we?
Oh, yeah, we had a little doob.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
cried about my mom that
that was the
an
day you
hour
cried about your
before
mom.
that.
And you're placing it too much, dude.
Oh,
And so
we're on the beach.
Shut
It's
up!
a-
Shut up! And so he goes, we were talking about pets, and I was like, we got to get out of this conversation. It reminded me of being a child, and I knew Santa wasn't real, but I was lying to my parents to pretend that I still believed so that my sister could still have it 'cause she's younger. And I remember my parents wanting to watch SNL one night, and I was so scared because I knew SNL was an adult program that they might reveal Santa wasn't real. It was around Christmas. So I was just doing anything to be like, let's play Monopoly. And they're like, we're going to watch SNL. We always watch it. And I was just like, I don't want her to find out accidentally. Like I was trying to protect her. And that was that conversation for me, which was like, stop bringing up things about our home lives. Like, I don't want to know. I'm living in this fantasy where this person is like available. And then someone brought up animals. And someone goes, do you have any pets? And the person goes, yeah, we have a dog. And I was just like, like Andrew felt it, I felt it, and I just
looked at
heard
each other. I remember we looked at each other and we're like, there it is.
And I was like, please be a 45-year-old man with a roommate or living with his mom. Please, God. Please, God. I was dying I was like, maybe he lives in a cult commune. Like, I will take, maybe he's at the Scientology Center. I'll take anything over a girlfriend. And then pulls up, do you have a picture of it? And I am like quiet because I don't want to like reveal that because honestly, he has every right to have a girlfriend. I'm just a little bit sad because I had gone in my head, I fantasized too much, and now I'm like kind of sad. But I don't want him to know. He had no idea I had a crush on him at all, and I don't want him to know that I'm upset or that because it doesn't affect me. It's like I shouldn't be upset, but I forget. So I'm like, Nikki, how do you act when someone has a girlfriend that you don't like? Like, what would you just be like? Oh, you have a like.
Punch him in the
I
arm.
was trying to remember how to respond, and then he pulls up a picture of his dog with his girlfriend in the picture and him, and he hands it to me, and I remember just going like, oh, like I didn't say anything. Like normally I'd go, oh my God, she's so pretty. Like, who is that? And that's what I would have said had I seen that picture in any other circumstance, because she was pretty. They did look adorable. I would have been like, what's the story there? But instead I was just like, oh. And then like,
yeah, I kind of remember
but
that.
I remember just like,
I remember
how
going,
does a
cool
normal
dog.
person?
Cool dog.
Oh my God. Which one were you talking about?
Shots
So
fired.
not shots fired. I mean, that's just me being a dumb joke. But
Woman drowned.
so shots fired. Woman drowned. Sand and dry. Beach. Mom
Band
cried.
cover.
Ham drip. So
8
anyway,
episodes.
I have this whole joke now about we. It was
No, I like that.
and I'm starting to explore like having this. I'm starting to explore something on stage that I never thought I'd talk about, which is like when you
fall for someone in a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like how
I
to
think
deal with
that's
that,
good.
and
I
like
think people, it reminds me. Yeah, I think that's.
I did it at the Cellar this weekend, dude. I'm so excited about it because
It's so honest and
And it's
open,
scary.
and people will be mad at you. There'll be some people mad at you, but you know what? Fuck their boyfriends. That's what I say. Worst comes to worst.
well, I have so much to say about this, obviously on stage. So come see me work all this out. And honestly, like the way I'm talking about this on stage is really I like trust the audiences not to put it out, because it's like I'm revealing things that I wouldn't put out there yet because it's sensitive. So if you come see me on tour, you'll see a very like you're gonna hear a story that I'm not telling
this.
anywhere else. And I'm like I really appreciate people coming, and I just want to treat this live comedy experience of something like this is special. This only happens here. Like kind of like Chris Rock last night. Everyone's like, "What's he gonna say about Will Smith?" He was at the
Beacon
where we're gonna
or Wilbur.
the Wilbur, where we're gonna be in Boston for 2 shows coming up in May, I believe. But yeah, he said I'm not ready to talk about it yet, which that's the way I felt about this thing.
It's smart.
You need time to process it.
He needs time to process, and you get in this business, that people want that, so you don't give it to them, right?
Well,
Wouldn't that be?
I think if he was ready to talk about it, he would have given it
You
to them.
think so?
But these things take time. Like I remember this situation I'm talking about on stage now. I remember saying, this is going to be a part of my act, like telling everyone in my life at that time, like I can't wait to like spin this into something, because this is just such a thing.
Well,
in my
I
life.
remember when it happened. You would reiterate the story almost word for word then, but you were so close to it that I just remember here, and now you have like perspective on it.
Yeah, it's
You've
been
like
so
healed
long
from
that
it.
I just like
It was very raw
yeah.
then, and if you tried to do it then, it would have been too raw.
Same
And it
with-
would have been too meaningful to you, like too emotional, I think.
Yeah, I was too angry about it, and
Yeah.
it's just you need time to. I honestly don't think we'll hear about it for like a year from Chris Rock. Like it might take that long because these things are so traumatic. The audience, you need to make your audience comfortable when you're still when you're telling the story of something, and if the audience senses that you still have an anger, like stand up with anger
Or
in
sadness.
it or sadness, they start to pity you, and so it just has to be the right time to talk about it. And I'm just starting to feel it out. And a lot of times people are like, why don't you ever talk about your anorexia on stage? And it's like, well, I didn't, because I was still dealing with an eating disorder in a different way. And it was just not, it was too sad to me still, because I was still struggling with it all those years. And it's now been 2 years. It'll come up on 2 years, April 26th, of me like not starving myself, not eating in bed, not binging, and not exercising to lose weight. And I think now, only 2 years after that, I can start like maybe making jokes about that experience, but it takes that long. And let's take a break and come back with Why Do I Care?
Sports.
Oh,
Can I just give a little behind the scenes?
yeah.
Would this be on the recording? Or
Do you want it to be, or should I take it
no,
out?
No. It's nothing. It's no. I got engaged to. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just funny that like we talked about, we're like new season. We're doing five different.
Listen.
No. I loved it. I think I like this.
I'm trying my best.
But let me tell him.
Yes.
So Nikki sits to me now. We're doing some new things. We're doing 5 stories. Boom, boom, boom. Right after the bat. I think, did we do 1 story there?
Honestly,
Well,
I
you
think that
technically did
music
too.
underneath, if I heard music underneath, it would make me motivated to. So
I like it. I'm
But
not
I am
saying
gonna
it's
start
bad.
trying. I think it's really funny. Last night I was watching. What was I watching last night? Oh, Tyler Henry. This new Netflix show where he talks to dead people, and I realize like when you're watching Netflix with the captions on, it's so funny because these idiots just tell you exactly how manipulative music is, because the captions will be like eerie music, dramatic music, music that makes you cry, and you're like, no, you guys, describe it in a different way that doesn't make you sound so manipulative. Music will motivate you. I want to start doing something kind of fun with the show where we try to do a segment that's like really lighthearted, or we try to do a segment that's really sad with upbeat music, or like we play with music underneath it.
I'm shaking my head because I was literally,
no way.
I swear on my life, I was working on a TikTok or whatever, like a video.
Yeah.
Because all these guys, it's like the saddest music, and it's just my wife left me
until you watch
3
Netflix
years
with
ago.
the subtitles.
But it says that. It says sad music.
I know. And
underneath
until
it.
you start watching it where it says sad music, you forget how manipulative and how it cues you to go, this is sad, what they're talking about. Music is so important in movies. And like, that's why when they cut like the sound from the Oscars and the awards for that, that's all movies is that shit. If you just listen to a show without, that's why podcasts are so fucking vulnerable, because when you're on the radio, you always have a music bed. You always have these things that are helping you. That's why stand-up is so vulnerable. Music helps you tell your story, and that's why it would be really interesting to start playing with it. Let's get to our weekly sports moment. Here's Andrew's weekly sports moment.
Oh man, thrilled.
You got a basketball in your hand. Tell me about it.
It's Spalding.
Well, I'll do
I know
it for
you are.
Andrew. I'll say Andrew's weekly sports moment.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. I haven't looked at you for this yet.
All right, fans were furious when country star Eric Church canceled his San Antonio concert so that he can attend a Final Four game of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, also known as March Madness.
So he has a show.
I got it.
He's from North Carolina.
I got it.
UNC's playing Duke.
I mean,
So
say
wait,
no more.
Can I read the statement he sent on his newsletter?
I would love to hear how he presented this.
I think he
kinda,
said, "Fuck my
appreciate
fans."
it.
I think he said.
No.
Okay.
So he calls his besties, like the equivalent of his besties, the
Sure.
choir.
Church head. Where are they? The choir.
The choir.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Preach, church, choir.
So he goes, "This is also the most selfish thing I've ever asked the choir to do, to give up your Saturday night plans with us so that I can have this moment with my family and sports community."
Honestly,
I love it.
I don't care. I think it's I when these fans go like, would you want to go see Eric Church if the whole time he's performing for you, he's like resenting that
phone.
he's there and thinking about this game? I want to see artists when they want to be there. That's why I bring Andrew. That's why I bring Anya. That's why I bring Emil on the road, is because I want to honor my fans by being in the best mood possible for them. Because if I'm just alone in a weird city, I'm not going to be happy, and I'm going to be thinking about other things. I'm just going to be, I want my art. I want Taylor Swift, if she wants to go do something else on the night that I'm going to go see her, I would rather her do that than me watch her like suffer through a show that she's not present for.
I guess the only word that I have trouble saying is
not true.
Is turbulence and daring and a few
Regular.
others. Yeah, Martha Aurelius.
Martha Aurelius is so funny.
So, cooking show. Stoics. No, what I was gonna say is, you can return tickets for the show, but
Yeah.
the plane tickets. What do you do about that? Because
Eric
that's-
Church reimburse people that show a receipt to plane tickets. I mean, like,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So that
exactly
would
what
be-
I would do.
that
I
would be
mean,
the one
I've
thing.
reimbursed people on Venmo who didn't enjoy my show that I found on Reddit. Like,
that cost you millions.
I've said after shows, I'm honestly, I will have to work the rest of my life to pay back those debts. But if I were him, this is what I would do. If, say, like Taylor Swift was playing and she invited me backstage, I would say to my fans the same thing. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am going to do this thing because otherwise I would be thinking about this thing. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to come back to town and I'm going to do a weekend of shows here that are going to be free to the people that have already have tickets, and you're going to get double the shows. I'm going to bring a special guest that I will pay that person out of my money. I would pay for having this excuse, and I would give those people who spent money with their plane tickets and the time they took away, or like the kids that I would reimburse all of that, because you have to pay to do the things you want in life. He's not paying for those tickets. We know for the game.
No.
He's not paying for this. He has to. It's not that he has to suffer, but the people, he has to give them something in return. And honestly, if I were one of those fans, I would be fucking psyched at what I'm going to get in return, because the next time he comes to town, whether or not the tickets are free, it's going to be an amazing show.
I just love that next time he comes to town, he's like, look, this is weird,
We
guys.
did not
This
expect
game.
them to get this far again, okay? Like, we thought last year was a one-shot deal. My daughter has a recital tonight.
Here's the thing, though. The crossover of country music fans and UNC Duke basketball
They get
fans,
it. Or just
they
fans
get
of
it.
sports.
They get it. There's
I think they're called sports fans.
Tobacco Road. It's like a whole thing. You're in the South.
What's
Like,
something that could get you, David, when you're opening for David Spade on Saturday night,
Ooh,
is
good
there
question.
something that would make you, if someone goes, hey, dude, I have last minute tickets to this. Here's a thing you get to go do. Is there anything that could get you to cancel that?
because there's nothing else I love more
Golf?
than, well.
With
But-
the funniest person
But maybe if I was
alive.
Eric Church, if I was David Spade, maybe in that situation,
Yes.
there could be something.
Yeah, because your David Spade moment is actually the thing that would get you
Yes.
to cancel on something else. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Fanthrax. It feels like it's been so long. I want to hear from the fans.
Bobby sounds angry at it.
Yeah.
He does it every morning.
God, he needs to look into stoicism.
He actually reads stoicism and stuff.
I bet he does.
He's into it.
My mom loves Avi, by the way. I was talking to her about you and Avi,
Aw.
and
We
she
had
was like,
dinner together. Yeah.
And have you met Avi? And I go, yeah. And she goes, I didn't know that you had met him. They are so cute. They are. I love them. And she was even saying, Noah, when like you guys all hung out together, because I was talking about it recently with her in Chicago. I got to go out to dinner with my parents after the Wilco thing. It was such a great dinner, but talked to them about their Arizona trip and talked to her about like hanging out with you, like more, like we got to sit down and talk about it. And she was like, I was thinking it was going to be awkward because I don't really know her. This is like, and her boyfriend. And she was like, Noah is so cute. She brought us a gift. She was so lovely. We couldn't wait to hang out with them again. We are going to hang out with it. Like, she was like, an Avi, and they are just so cool. You are so lucky to have these people in your life. You attract the best people. Thank you for including them. It was awesome to hear that.
That's when I'm like tearing up. I don't know if you could tell through the screen. Your parents are so sweet, and I had a wonderful time with them.
I really am so
2
lucky
nights
to
we
have
got
my
to hang
parents. I have just now gotten to this place of like, I won the fucking lottery with them, and
Yeah.
like everything that I am and like have achieved is 100% due to the way they raised me and how cool they are. Seeing them interact with the Tweeties and being like, God, they are not embarrassing. They make me look cooler. They are so
great.
fun.
They're
They are
great
personable.
storytellers.
Your
dad is such a
listen
good
well
storyteller.
sometimes. They have great stories that don't go on too long. They're just funny. Anything that I am is because of them, and in that it's all them. And I always thought like, I'm different than my parents, and in ways I am.
Yeah.
But even the ways that I've grown, like emotionally intelligent beyond maybe what they are, it's because I am more emotionally intelligent than my parents.
I know, but I just love
And I'm
them.
teaching them. But the fact that they're open to learn from their
Yes.
daughter is the kind of openness that I was given from them that made me open
give
to
back
other
to
things.
them.
Yeah, it's like it's all cyclical, but there's nothing more in my life that I'm lucky with than my parents. It all starts with them, and I know everyone is not so lucky, so I just want to say I'm really grateful, and I acknowledge that none of this is me. It was all my parents, and none of it was them. It was all their parents, and none of it was there. It all goes back to back.
I think the older you get, the more you stop fighting it. You just go, oh,
They're fucking cool, and I'm so just grateful
yeah.
for everything. And even if you have shitty parents, like Noah, you don't really get along with your mom, fucking thank God for that. It's made you who you are in the way that like is just so. I'm glad. I'm sorry for that, but I'm also like, because you deserve more, but I'm grateful because it made you who you are, and whatever kind of mixture of that bullshit, it made a great person.
Thanks. Okay, can we do our first
Wipe your
voicemail?
tears and tell me a Fanthrax.
All right. The first one comes from Isidro.
All right, I'm into it.
Hey,
my favorite
Nikki,
town
Andrew,
in
Noah. This is
Southern
Isidro
California.
from Southern Wisconsin. I love the pod. I listen to you guys every morning and afternoon when I'm going to and from work. It's a great way to start my day with a laugh,
Awesome.
wrap up my long work day with a laugh. So thank you for
Yeah.
that. I wanted to give a shout out to Andrew for just his hilarious zingers. There's been many times when I'm taking a sip of water and he gives one of those zingers and just, I start laughing and water starts coming out of my nose. So fuck you, Andrew. Just kidding. So just wanted to give you that plug. But really, just one question. Really, the main purpose why I want to leave you guys a voice message here was during the last pod, episode 190, Anya talked about a story about her mom telling her to put a vitamin C tablet or something like that on her tongue, and in order to relieve her cough. And there was like this cliffhanger at the end. We didn't find out what happened. So did it work? Did it not work?
I think we did.
For her cough.
If I would love to hear the answer on the pod, that'd be great. I love you guys.
Thank you.
And
we have so many cliffhangers.
Jack Skeleton.
Thank you so much, Isidro.
Yep.
That was really
From
nice.
Southern Wisconsin. First of all, Andrew is genuinely one of the funniest people alive, and his one-liners are his little like ways of flipping language, and like his asides are his fucking superpower. The way his mind works is upsetting to me, and you are absolutely right. He's so fucking funny, and you just are. You're just so quick, and you sometimes it just is. It's infuriating to me sometimes, much like the Taylor Tomlinson thing I talked about yesterday, of like this jealousy of like, I wish my mind worked like that. And that's why I love sometimes to have you around, because I mean, mainly we were talking about talent versus like friendship. I like having you around because the best ways that you help me comedically when I'm on a set or something is to go, just to pitch it to you in like your first instinct, because your mind just like the first thing it serves up before you think is always like this unintentionally genius thing that you can't even help. It just comes out of you. And like, that's what I feel like you're so valuable for. And that's why I want you to do more crowd work, because you're so good at just improv.
Well, I'll do it on Spade's show.
Honestly, you could, and it would be fine. But I wouldn't
go.
go. Don't go to the audience on that.
No, I'm kidding, dude.
And I want to just say a little bit like, why that's inappropriate is not because it wouldn't be killer as a stand-up when you have openers. If you're not a crowd work guy, even if you are, you don't want your openers doing crowd work because it makes them chatty and feel like it's going to be an interactive show. And if you are a crowd work guy, you don't want it because you might unearth things that person wants to unearth. So that's just a little bit of like back shop talk. Now the Anya thing, I feel like
She ate her tongue,
but does he want to know if it worked to help her throat?
I think
sore throat.
I think we just have to remind him that she said the tablet that she put on her tongue made the layer of skin come off, right?
Yeah.
And then she swallowed it.
Made a round tablet of skin. It like burned her tongue. It loosened that skin. It came off like a little Mento, and then she swallowed it.
Yeah. So
And
maybe
I guess
there's
at that
some
point,
clarity.
who cares about the cough? Because you're eating your own body.
Slippery elm for sore throats, you guys.
Oh.
I left it in the car for carpool karaoke with Wilco, and I'm getting some new stuff shipped to me today. But the slippery elm lozenges save my life, and I've been looking for stuff
What
for
are
so
they?
long.
They're like Ricola or whatever?
No, that you can just buy them on Amazon. They're just you just put them in your mouth and you just like suck on them, and they're little like chalky, like almost like just dissolvable vitamins. And you can also get the dropper that I put in water every morning. But it really is something that like coats your throat and makes it's better than that throat coat tea. And if you suffer with losing your voice a lot or learn how to speak differently,
Or sign.
okay, next one.
Next voicemail is from Paige.
Hi, besties. My name is Paige. First, I want to say
What's up,
I have
Paige?
cankers on my tongue, and so that's why I'm talking with a little bit of a lisp today. And they
it's very
fucking
honest.
suck. Nikki, I know that you can relate. And man, I am really out here struggling, and I can't stop eating spicy, acidic foods. So
I know
they hurt, and they're not going away. But anyway,
Yeah.
I wanted to share a story of Ka. So my friends and I were out one night, and we weren't having the best time. And of course, the bottle girls are walking by us with their little fucking sparklers and heading to a table with two guys that are sitting back in their little VIP table. I don't know. It's so stupid and God to begin with. But they don't even like give the bottle girls recognition. They just like sit back and like look around. And it's like, oh my God. My friend Alexis, who's also a bestie, we looked at each other at the same time and both went, "Kuh," because it was so kuh. And after that, I went home. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for
Love
your
you,
podcast
Paige.
and for sharing all your stories and being so open about so many important topics. You guys are so great. And
I love you,
yeah,
Paige.
have a great day.
It's so funny because I've
Jerk
been
off.
jerk off. Yeah, some people are taking real liberty here and not doing jack.
It
just
doesn't
the
matter.
NEJ, which is nice.
I'll take it.
No, I'm gonna,
What were you going to say
so
about
many
I've
things.
been that bottle guy with
where
a friend.
the girls are so hot that you think you don't want to be the guy that's like ogling them, so you act like they don't exist?
Well, that's one thing is
I do that with celebrities sometimes where you're like, oh, who are you? I'm sorry. Oh, John Mayer? Okay.
yeah, I think that's
Oh,
what,
nice to meet you. Your name's, what's your name? Like,
that's what that one dude did with a girlfriend to you. That's how I felt like
Yeah.
he was kind of doing. Oh, Nikki? Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, I'm not. You're not a big deal. I haven't Googled you or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
Googled you. I have a tattoo on my back of you at all. Whatever. No, but like I've been those like two guys that you get bottle service and you think you could just sit back and show your money. It's so cheesy, dude. And then
okay.
and then what they do is they pay the promoters. They pay girls to come and sit at your table.
Yeah.
They drink all your liquor and then they fuck the hot guy on the dance floor.
Yeah, that's not you.
That's not you.
You deserve it. It reminds me of the beginning, the first Pam and Tommy episode, Tam and Pommy,
Tommy?
where Tommy's like sitting at this table. I hate that show so much, but I also love it. I'm only 2 episodes in, or 3 maybe. I want to say to Paige though, real quick, love that you and your bestie both said "k" at the same time. I love that "k" is just becoming a thing. Also, Paige, I'm always wondering when you were in school and people would be like, turn to page 13. Did you like hear your name? I always ask that for Paige's. Number 3, if you suffer with canker sores out there, and Paige, I honestly have more empathy for people with canker sores than maybe anything in the world because it's the most excruciating thing I've been through, and like it takes the joy out of talking, it takes the joy out of eating. It's like it's your body's way of saying like
Slow down.
slow
or
down.
Be better. Yeah.
And I'm serious,
Not be
Paige.
better,
Like
but-
the best thing that I found for them and anyone else that has someone in their life, please give the gift of, I can't believe I haven't shared this yet because during my canker sore thing, I got medicine. And the thing that I found most soothing was Mylanta. Like the kind of like really creamy, soothing thing that you take for stomach acidity.
Yeah.
Swishing with Mylanta and just keeping it in your mouth and like
Did you stumble on that or did someone tell you to do it?
no, well, my doctor prescribed me these 2 mouthwashes. One was like codeine, which is a painkiller, and the other was this creamy thing that she said essentially was like Mylanta.
Okay.
And that one was better than the codeine. Honestly, anyone struggling with canker sores, and I know there's tons of remedies on the line. That one I had not read about. I really recommend it, and also like just be really kind to yourself because you are struggling in a way that people that don't get canker sores do not understand. And I love that you talked about it and like we're open about it, and because it sounds like gross and stuff, but it's
I had it on the side.
you're struggling inside, and you're
Like right there on the side of
Yeah.
the tongue. It's the worst pain. It feels like an anal fissure of the mouth.
Listen to it's because it's an ulcer. So
Yeah.
listen to your body when you have these things, because I wish I would have. I was doing too much and I didn't get sick because my body knows I'll just go work through a cold or the flu. I cannot work through canker sores because it requires me to talk
Oh shit!
and to swallow, and that's part of my job as well. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And so
I do.
wow.
I bet you, Paige, that this is a way of telling your body is like screaming at you to please give me a break or address something that's like brewing inside of you, and that's no judgment. But I love you so much. Next one.
Here's a quickie from Dahlia.
Hi,
today.
Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. I just had to share something funny. My son is in 4th grade and he has spelling words, and one of his words is analyze. And all I could think about when we were going over his words was analyze, and had to stop myself from saying that out loud. Anyway, love you guys. Love the show. Cracks me up all the time. Have a great day.
Thank you
I think
so
part
much,
of you,
Dahlia.
you're hearing a lot of these stories.
Listen,
Nick.
I think the next special might be named that, or something I do has to be because it's too funny. I love that. I love our besties so much. Like I just
Maybe we could do when we do live shows. We could
Yeah.
call it Nikki Glaser Podcast.
time to analyze. And maybe I do
analyze this or analyze.
I like that
that's
idea
good.
of like because I'm
Yeah.
trying this new thing on the last 10 minutes of my set. I'm hoping to do a Q&A to like help me, like just work on my crowd work skills because it's something I'm so scared of, even though I always have an out. It's fine. Like I'm fine.
Yeah, you're very good at it. It's not-
There's something that makes me scared about it. So I'm trying to work in a Q&A, and that could be fun to give it a title of like, maybe it's me helping, like having people like ask me questions or like analyze
me.
and then we could do a graphic on the screen behind me that's me with butthole eyes.
And it could be funny if you just, the only thing that changes is you put glasses on and you become like a therapist. The rapist for the the rapist analyzes like therapists.
Oh, the rapist. Yeah.
Like
I
whatever.
can't believe that word is
It's
the rapist
unbelievable.
together.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
insane.
not my joke. That's
No, that's from
Arre-
SNL.
I thought it was Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
Oh yeah, anal rapist.
Yeah.
No, but it was first in Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh.
I'll take the rapist for something like that. But anal therapist.
I like the idea of like
where
what
they
you do
go.
on
I'm an
Perfect
analysis.
Strangers.
I'm an analyst, and I'm a therapist. I'm an analrapist. And then on the thing it was he called it an anal rapist, and then on the thing it said anal rapist. Okay, which is even funnier than.
But I think that's a good idea. Maybe you bring out a couch and you have people come up on stage.
Wish I had like 3 hours on stage. It's just too long of a show,
Yeah,
and I
that's
have too much
true.
material. But I'm excited to explore other things. Thanks for that idea. I love it. Next up
is a voicemail from Jeffrey.
Hey, Nikki, Noah, and Andrew. This is Jeffrey. I have a funny butt dial story. When I was 22, I was living in LA, and I was dating this guy who was about 32, 33, and I had just had my first art opening in LA, and he invited a bunch of his friends, and as they were leaving, he got a voicemail. He didn't pick it up, and it was from one of his closest friends saying how boring he was. She was talking to someone else that she was walking with, and how he needed to loosen up, and they were so glad he was dating me because I was fun and young. And I'm not bragging. I was a raging alcoholic, and so were they, and that's probably why we got on so well. But completely like decimated this friendship for a good couple of years. I think they've made amends now, but happy to say I'm several years sober. Turkey tier. Thanks. Keep up the pod.
turkey tier. Dude, Jeffrey, I love that story. Thank you for sharing it. I love we love butt dials, stories of like accidentally texting someone, sending someone something where they didn't know they were being heard, or and that's such a good one. And I'm just so glad. I love that he's like, yeah, it was fun. People like assumed I was fun, but I was just a raging alcoholic, because I think so often people are like, oh, I'm gonna lose my fun. Like I'm not gonna be fun anymore. And the truth is, like, a lot of people are just completely out of control. Final thought. This was kind of a similar thing that happened to me this morning.
Send us some art, Jeffrey.
Oh my God, Jeffrey, please. Will you DM us? I want to see your art. I'm so honored when people like artists listen to the show. I'm just like, what?
It's like,
I'm honored everyone does, but like you guys are all so fucking cool and
not if you're a
sweet.
plumber.
Someone named Dahlia listens to our show. Like, give me a fucking break.
But if you're a plumber, like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, if you're a plumber, unless you do some little like art on the side, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
No, plumbers fascinate me. I had a plumber over the other day.
Yeah, I was
And I'm
really
like,
mad at plumbers.
I know you aren't, but I just want to say that plumbers like mad respect. I don't understand what plumbing
Actually, you know what? I'm hearing you, and I'm not gonna respect them.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
not.
that's just, you're taking a hard stand on this, and you don't appreciate what they do, because, man, I'm clogging toilets and drain pipes all the time with my hair and my,
Paper. Why do girls have so much paper in the toilet?
What? Because we wipe our vaginas with toilet paper.
How many times?
Yeah, we don't get to shake. We have to actually wipe.
No, but I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. I've lived with.
Maybe we blow our nose. We like while we're doing it. Like there's sometimes I just like.
There's
I
like
don't
a
know.
dam in
But
there.
I just want to say this happened to me today, and this is another joke I've wanted to work on for so long, but I could never find the right way, and I think I just found it today because it happened. Do you ever do this thing where you text someone, or you're doing, it auto corrects to a different word than what you want to say? Like, let's say it's fuck and it's duck,
duck,
and it's
yeah.
just and And to correct it, you just write the word again to be like, oh, let's say it's like, oh, I just saw a duck. And you say, I just saw a fuck. And you're like, and then you just want to write duck to correct it. And it corrects it again. So you just go fuck. And then you write it again and you're like, fuck. And so it just seems like you're like doubling down on the thing you already said instead of correcting it. It does the opposite. It's such a perfect joke premise because it's so ironic that you're trying to say the opposite of like, oh, that's not what I meant, but instead you keep saying it again and again. So this morning
I have a good idea for a joke for that. But
what is it?
No, so then you go, I wrote duck and then it just said fuck, and then I tried to write fucking duck again and it just said fuck again. And it just reminds me of that time where like I wrote my dad and I called, and then it's a word that would never be spell checked. And it's like so singular.
Almost like that one guy's joke of this black guy had a joke where he was like, you ever like, I forget his name. I'm sorry if we do know his name, we got to post it on our thing. It comes around on Reddit all the time, but he's one of the best jokes. And I'm butchering it, but he says, I hate when people are always using like words like you don't know, like just to make themselves seem like so smart. Like the other day, my friend was like, and this guy was being so pedantic. And I'm just like, yeah, sounds like he was. And then later on, I'm like, what's pedantic mean? And then the other day, my friend is like, oh, my dad has this like cadre of friends that he hangs out with. And I'm like, man, I got to look up that. And he's like, so I'm Googling dad.
Yeah.
Switcheroo.
Yeah, that's a great switcheroo.
It's so good. And I had to say it was black to set up the joke because it's a stereotype that blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this happened this morning. Chris, my boyfriend, had a meeting with his like coworkers or lunch, and I had a breakfast. He said, "Oh, I just left breakfast with Courtney, Brando, and Tim." It says Tam, but he meant Tim. And he says it was fine, and I go, he goes, "It was fine, period." And I go, "Just fine." Because they're talking about something that is like a thing, like it was a breakfast to discuss something not like that important, but it was like, oh. There was a thing of like, how's that going to go? Element of it. He goes, it was fine. And I go, just fine? And he said, fine, period. And I go, okay, we'll talk later. And he goes, voice text thinks I'm saying fine when I'm saying fine. And I said,
oh my God.
He goes, man, I really leaned in on this. And he goes, and although it was fine, I meant fun. So the whole time he's saying fun. And I'm like, and instead he's just like, I go, it was just fine. He goes, fine. I meant to say fine, but I meant fine. Like, it was just worse.
I know. That's what,
honestly, I go, I've been wanting to write a joke for that for so long. I hate when that happens. And then you just end up doubling down on the original thing. And he goes, couples could break up over a fine/fun misunderstanding easily. And I said 100%. I just started re-downloading Bumble. Glad we cleared that up. And so... It's just as I want to write some joke about like when you just keep saying the word and it keeps autocorrecting and you're just like, it's just so funny.
It could be funny. Like
if anyone has a good example for that.
A couple weeks ago, you write him and be like, God, your sex with you last night was so fun. And he's like, it was fun. I meant fine. Like there could be a switch on that way.
You're
like
so right. I am
that.
definitely going to wee it up with him about this.
Yeah. Something like where you switch it
We had the best inside joke we made the other day that just made me laugh. I was just talking kind of to myself. He lent me this sweatshirt that had emos on it. I was wearing it all day because I was cold in Chicago, and he was brushing his teeth, and I was like, babe, I really love this sweatshirt. I was like, and then to myself, I was just like, mommy likey, mommy wanty, mommy takey. And it was just me being like, and he heard me, he goes, did you say mommy takey? And I was like, yeah, mommy takey. And so now my new joke is that I'm going to steal it. And so he left early and I had to pack up his stuff for him and bring it back because he left and didn't have time to go get his luggage. So I brought it back for him and I packed up that emo shirt and I put in a little note that said, mommy likey, mommy wanty, mommy takey. And I was just waiting for him to find it because I always like sneak little notes. And the other day he found it. He was like, sorry, it took me so long to find it. I didn't unpack. And I go, you could have snuck in a note from when I was doing Perfect Strangers 2 in Cabo a month ago. And I still wouldn't have found it because that is how long it takes me to unpack shit.
Yeah, no, but a little note is like, that goes so far in a relationship.
Little
I don't know, like handwritten.
Yes.
Even if you call me like a dumb, stupid bitch, I'd be like, man, she fucking gets me. Dude.
Yes.
She really just like talks to my heart.
We had the best time today. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Come see us in Austin and check out all my dates. I'm coming somewhere near you. I love to meet besties and And if you can't afford it, we'll have that discussion too
Air
in my
Church
DMs.
will pay you.
Yeah. I love you so much, you guys. Thank you for listening. And don't be care. And Jack. And Jill.
We can do whatever
we
we
can just
want.
do Jim now.
We can do
Okay,
whatever we
fine.
want.
Any J name works.